There's been so much Bolotics already in 2016, it's easy to forget that whilst we were busy stuffing our faces with turkey and mince pies, the government went about burying bad news whilst no one was looking. So here are some things you may have missed over the holidays. Firstly, David Cameron graced us with a beautiful Christmas message. As a Christian country, we must remember that his birth represents peace, mercy, goodwill, and above all, hope.
Bullshit.
Where was the peace and mercy when he voted for airstrikes against Syria? Or when the Tories made cuts to police services, childcare, healthcare? I mean, people are without homes, jobs, having to rely on food banks. Need I go on? I'm guessing David Cameron is aware of the mess we are currently in, and that is why he used his New Year's message to commit to beating poverty in his last 4 years at Downing Street. Unfortunately, on the very same day, new figures revealed that homelessness had doubled under his administration. The government's cutbacks to affordable housing and housing benefit have led to over 7,500 people being left homeless in London alone. But of course, cuts to housing benefit are needed when corporations like HSBC are allowed to help its clients avoid huge amounts of taxes. Remember that scandal HSBC was involved in roughly a year ago? Leaked information revealed that the Swiss division of the bank was helping its wealthiest clients avoid taxes by hiding assets and giving away huge sums of money to avoid the authorities. Well, yes, you guessed it. The FCA have decided not to take any formal action against HSBC. Shocker. Meanwhile, Judge Osborne's plan to crack down on tax avoidance has fallen 600 million short of its proposed target. But why should we be surprised? HSBC are one of many companies paying little to no tax at all. Maybe we could learn one or two things and take a leaf out of Iceland's book. You may not have heard that in 2008, Iceland refused to bail out their banks and arrested their bankers, unlike the rest of the world. And now it is the first country in Europe to surpass its pre-crisis levels of economic output. I mean, these are the stories that often get left out of mainstream media. I wonder why. An investigation led by mayor candidate Sadiq Khan uncovered secret lavish cocktail parties were being hosted in countries such as Singapore and Hong Kong. These parties were being held by top estate agents to sell London houses to international buyers, while many locals are being kicked out of their own city. It's acts like these that make sense of the soaring house prices, making it nearly impossible for young people to get onto the property ladder or even rent a property.
So how much rent do you pay per week?
190 per week.
Is that including bills?
No.
60 to 80, yeah.
I pay £250 a week.
I pay £175 a week.
250.
I mean, this is outrageous. Homeless figures have spiraled out of control due to the current cost of living and inflation. The government has recently sneaked through fracking legislation, disregarding any previous agreements or any sort of proper debate. Campaigners and opposition parties are angry that the government has decided to allow fracking to take place in World Heritage Sites and national parks. Just in case you're unaware, fracking can contribute to climate change, pollution,
very dangerous toxic chemicals,
and earthquakes. Sounds like fun. David Cameron has stated that climate change is to blame for the recent floods in the UK. Oh, so nothing to do with the complete lack of investment in flood prevention? The most ironic thing is that Muslim youth groups have played an active role in helping flood-affected areas. Meanwhile, the EDL have decided it is more important to post insulting messages on social media rather than putting Britain first and helping their citizens recover from the effects of the recent floods.
We're just trying to stop you've got Muslimic rape gangs.
Muslims are not the only people currently experiencing discrimination. Oliver Letwin, one of David Cameron's closest advisors, recently sparked fury as he made disturbing comments about the attitudes of black people in a memo he wrote after the 1980 riots. According to him, black people are to blame for the riots because they have bad attitudes and no morals. That's racist! Now, on to awards. Philopoku Giema, a homosexual activist, turned down an MBE in a bid to protest against persecution faced by homosexuals as a result of colonial regimes. According to Phil, homosexuals are still being persecuted and some even killed as a result of laws laid down by the British Empire. Phil has decided not to accept the award as long as such activities continue. Apart from Phil, there are many high-profile individuals that have turned down a knighthood or an honour, such as Danny Boyle, Stephen Hawking, Nigella Lawson, and David Bowie. And that's what you missed over the Christmas holidays. Here's to a better 2016. Fingers crossed.